Hello everybody and welcome to another Beyond All Reason video. Today we have a 2v2 on Pools of Ilis. And just to get started, we can see Legion is also on this game. So down here we have the blue and green players starting in pretty normal positions. Surprisingly a little bit closer together. What we often see on this map is the second player starting in this position here by the cliffside, allowing the blue player to get a lot more value and more metal extractors than the green player will. Now, what we also normally see is the green player will mosey on up this way through the canyon section, trying to get those high ground metal extractors with their commander when they can, and then moving on around to push this top lane, applying as much pressure to this top lane as possible, where that geo is that I don't think I've seen built once yet. Maybe they'll make use of the water area here, who knows. And then the other team, or for the blue player rather, normally they will apply pressure into this central area. As we've seen before on the channel, most of the combat takes place here, with the 2 metal points either side and the geo point in the middle, which again I don't think I've seen a single player take. And that's all of the map, at least when it comes to Pools of Ilis. So let's get started on the normal cast as the scouts approach the opponent's side. Okay, here we are in the normal camera. So our contestants today is Team APM. We have C3BO and Mirrored. C3BO going Armada and Mirrored going Legion. And on the opposing side, we have Kuchy as Cortex and Zlo as Armada. So Zlo, a pretty good player. He hasn't been around a lot recently, so his OS is not what you would expect it to be. Kuchy very high on small team OS here with an OS of 54. Got to be one of the top players in small teams. Now, one thing of note here is that only APM has Legion. Now, Legion's goblins are about, I think it's half, literal half. Yeah, so one pawn is 54, one goblin is 25 metal. So you're basically seeing 2 goblins for every pawn or grunt. Grunts are around the same value, a little bit. 1 3/4 goblins for every grunt. So we'll see a higher quantity of green units here in this early stage. But will they be able to get that amount of value? We'll see. So far doing tremendously well here, losing 2 goblins for 4 grunts. That is a very good trade. I made that 3 for 4, so still a very good trade. Mirrored walling off a section here with a double LLT and radar. That will do a very good job at preventing any form of early harass. Units could potentially walk around here, using the crystals here to block shots as they make their way by. But still, that would be a very high amount of micro in order to try and get that. Meanwhile, there are some units here of Zlo that are trying to creep around. Bear in mind, Zlo has very little vision here. And the fact that these guys just have more range than all of the other units just means that even though they're weaker, they're able to just put so much more damage on target. Quite a full health one. 200 health as opposed to 270 of a grunt. 370 of a pawn. They do have less health. They don't have half the health, bear in mind, considering they're half the cost. But they have more range than the grunt. So you're basically going to play goblins as the way you used to play grunts and kind of fight your target. Or you can just, because of the cost of these, you could just literally go all in. Now, interestingly enough, both players here on Team APM have traded cons. So this will give the Tech 1.5 metal extractors to C3BO here. And this will help give so much more metal. You can see here, current metal cost is +2 with a advanced or overcharged, not an advanced metal extractor, overcharged 4.4. So it doubles the metal basically, but you are using a lot more energy. But energy you can build. Metal, there's only so much you can get. So being able to get this does mean that both of these players are going to be able to push out so much more units with the metal they've got. They just have to invest quite heavily into energy. Now we have to be careful that they don't energy stall here on that transition time. Mirrored attempting to go in here on the pawns. You can just see as soon as those pawns close in on range, the goblins go down pretty quickly. But not enough pawns versus those goblins. C3BO though, not paying attention to his pawns. There's a lot of reclaim to be had here. And Mirrored now given full control over the pawns as well. Are they going to dive that LLT, maybe? No, choosing not to. Still a lot of reclaim to be had. 687 reclaim, that's a lot in the early stage. C3BO and Kuchy has positioned themselves in the bottom here. C3BO looks like he's going for a self-B. Commander's probably too low to do that. Not a self-B, sorry, a D-gun on the metal extractors. But with the 2 rocket bots assisting him, he doesn't really need to risk that. Going for some nettles up in the high ground here to provide plenty of AA while he pushes out. Meanwhile, Mirrored's commander up here on the top right position here, slowly pushing up. Both players seem to be pretty much right down the middle. Pretty much like this. Perfect map distribution between the 2 players. Not 2 players, 2 teams. C3BO does have this high ground very well controlled though. You see the res bots here trying to res these units in order to try and keep this front alive. Maybe better off eating the metal though, as they could kind of do with securing this reclaim as much as possible. This is still a very highly contested area. And C3 does go in, and so does Mirrored here on this one position, putting even more metal on the pile, and they do not manage to get the LLTs. So they just continued basically to take fire whilst they're adding even more to the pile. Now we're talking 2k. We're 8 minutes in and there's a reclaim field of 2k. Holy moly, that's a lot of reclaim. Sticking with goblins here and pawns. You can just see now that there's a decent amount of pawns and grunts. The goblins are not really holding up. We don't see any change of plan from Mirrored here. Just continuing to like go in and pepper the units. He is slowly winning. But with so many LLTs, he needs to make a bit of a dent. Both teams have gone air though. We can see bombers coming out from Kuchy, and at the same time we see fighters and a couple of gunships coming out from C3. There was an air transport to move them. Where are they going? Oh, interesting that they're going for the titles. Titles doesn't make sense. There is 20 tidal strength right now. And the bombers have fighters on their tail now, so although they will get the titles, C3 can just rebuild them all, which he's literally doing straight away, and the bombers get taken out. Meanwhile, the high ground is still under the control of Zlo right now. 1,000 of that metal has either been eaten or resurrected. It looks like they're deciding to eat everything now instead. Oh, we finally see a move over to Satyrs here from Mirrored, as well as some Resbots as well. Shurikens have turned up, but they get shot down pretty quickly here. Gunships also unable to really fulfill anything there other than just getting shot down. And this high ground is just becoming a bit of a messy situation. Resbots from both players were destroyed though, leaving only Zlo's one. But Zlo has another one here, as well as Mirrored and C3 both had a Resbot at the front. Now, Satyrs are quite a tough unit to deal with. They're very similar to Thugs, but they also have a high trajectory arc as well. So you kind of need to treat them as like Thugs, Maces, but also artillery. You can see there as they switch the high trajectory mode, they benefit quite a lot from high ground. Oh, this may be a bad move. The pawns get right up close. How much damage are they going to be able to do? See all of the clicking around as he's trying to dodge the plasma shots. Now, who's going to be ready to get that reclaim? See another 1.4 player reclaim. But because of the transition to air, pretty much purely here from C3, Mirrored is lacking on the unit front. Could really do with a bit more assistance here. But Tech 2 now out by Zlo here. Not Zlo. Zlo is working on Tech 2. So Kuchy's working on Tech 2, and so is C3 has Tech 2. Tech 2 con already given to Mirrored by C3. Most of this high ground reclaim has been given completely to Zlo here. But the first Tech 2 units to reach the front are the Jaguars that Mirrored now has under his control. Question is how much damage are they going to be able to inflict? There are some Quakers moving down, as well as Salamanders. But there's just not really enough pump here in order to break through on this very high quantity of units in the middle. Army value is kind of looking advantage blue right now, but it's very close. Metal produced so far is literally only a couple of thousand in it for blue, and that is purely down to those overcharged metal extractors. And even with that advantage, the blue team have not been able to make any sort of push in. And the numbers on green side looking to start to wear a little bit thin here. Zlo decides not to go in though. Instead, sending some units off here around the side to try and make a bit of a dent. A lot of Resbots though, ready to come and try and eat up some of this reclaim. Quaker's shots, though, doing a decent job of providing splash and killing some of those goblins. And the green army numbers drastically reduced now, down to a total of 15. Whereas we can see alone, there are 41 pawns just right here on the front. Blue team really needs to kick it up a gear, get some more units out. Legion has still not gone Tech 2, prioritizing goblins here. And their unit number is looking severely limited. We can see that trying to produce some units here, C3. But, oh, mistake there as a con goes very far forward. There is a single bull, but a single bull won't really do that much. We're about to see a Tsar coming out soon from Kuchy here. It'll probably give to Zlo. And Zlo just basically doing all of the micro of all the combat units, whilst Kuchy kind of, I say his eco's up, but he's got less eco than his teammate. So, I don't know. Sorry, bad camera work there. Tech 1 bomber just over the top, not really getting much value at all. There is a bit of a hole, though, opened up here. If he's not careful, he is moving to block it off. But now, if he moves too far, he's opening a hole to Mirrod's comm. Bull did shut down all of the attempt to reclaim there. But a single bull won't be enough, really, to push into all of this. Oh, sorry, 2 bulls won't be enough to push into all of this. And that bull is about to get completely surrounded by Tech 1. And watch how quickly that thing dies as soon as it starts taking flanking damage. There we go. Yellow has managed to overrun them. Was Zlo not paying attention? Oh, that was a perfect opportunity to just keep running in there. Now able to get back in control using goblins to field for the units in front. That is a lot of reclaim yet again. 3.4k reclaim in the center. I'm surprised neither player is choosing to apply any pressure down on the southern side. C3 has rocket bots here. He could just, you know, slowly whittle down some of these LLPs and apply a bit of pressure, but no, nothing. Oh, this force of pawns almost made it in here, but getting distracted by a group of goblins. Zar now makes its way to the field, trying to focus it down. The long-range missiles here not really made to go after the Zar. Great D-gun by Kuchy though, managing to pick up a bull. And the Zar does get taken out. Kuchy's comm though, very low as well. 35% health, past the float to get out. Very well played there. Resbots falling back a bit before they come back in, it seems. And this is still anyone's game right now. We look over the bases. No Tech 2 planned for Mirrored here. Instead, a second Tech 1 factory. Just producing goblins. Which is interesting because I don't really see the goblins providing much more than just a meat shield. Meanwhile, as we look over here, we have Air and Tech 2 being produced by Kuchy. And now we see Zlo has just purely switched over to ticks only. I would say he's focusing the army, but like control of the army, but there is no army left to control. The Zar is up, and those goblins just get absolutely annihilated by the Zar. Taking out like 5 or 6 goblins per shot. Oh, interesting. We may see the salamanders. Oh no, okay. I thought the salamanders might go like this. And that's exactly what Mirrored thought, but no. Salamanders not being used for that amphibious capability. Oh wait, now they are. Ah, she made way to make me look like I don't know what I'm saying. Air transport moving a starlight here to the front. 2 starlights to the front. The question will be if Mirrored will have the energy to even fire them. As the team on the right have not scaled their E up as much at all. Saying that, though, their energy a second is technically higher, but these salamanders will get destroyed. This water is so deep, it takes ages for them to actually get through the water. Can't even see that Sea Freeze Commander is there. They do. They do for a brief second. And Zlo spotted it, but once the salamander does make it through, will it just walk right in line of sight of this LLT? No. Meanwhile, the middle is looking problematic. LLT managed to get it. Red and yellow struggling now with a combined force here in the center. Just too many units for them to deal with. Bombers being used to target units here instead of economy. And the Resbots were in a pretty good position here to maybe capture 2 Tsars, but no. Front lines have completely collapsed as these red units have managed to make it all the way in between all of Green's army. This will lose the Starlights and all of the Resbots. And even these ambassadors. Absolute mess. And this is exactly what Kuchy and Zlo needed. A breakthrough that just completely collapsed the lines of Mirrored. And now all of that long-range poke has been destroyed, leaving only spam and a few bulls. This is the thing, that looks like they've got a lot of army here, but realistically, you've got 4 bulls and a dream. For some reason, there's a stealth tank. I don't quite know what the idea is with that, but all you'd need to do would be to add a banisher into this mix, and then it's long-range fire to take out chunks of these goblins before they even got close. I think the plan for these goblins here is to use them to get flanking damage on target, to help reduce the target's health a lot quicker by reducing that flanking element. Also, just to tank the shots a bit more. Tigers don't have quite enough splash, really, compared to Pools to deal with the goblins quite quick. But these Tigers moved into the center here by Zlo. Bad positioning. But a Tsar has been reborn. And now that's a dangerous position. These Tigers are about to get completely surrounded, destroyed. It's still anyone's game. Army value currently is apparently advantage blue. He does have quite a few bulls on the field. We're talking 7, but then there are 12 here. But now that that Tsar is up, oh, but all the Resbots do get destroyed. For both teams here, Resbots get destroyed. Oh. How the heck is that shooting that far? Oh, he's manually fired that, I think. Or it's shooting at that and having a miss. That was extremely bad there for C3, almost losing a Tech 2 constructor. And another interesting thing we're just seeing off to the corner of the screen here, just on the minimap, is a tactical nuke being built. Also, C3's commander here walking through the water. Now, bear in mind, Legion's commander, a bit overpowered, has torpedoes, has anti-air. It's just a bit like, yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong, Zlo's commander will have an underwater laser. but C3's Tom just able to get a lot of value here just by walking around building a torpedo to shoot torpedoes at all this energy production. Zlo does not really want to go in and fight that. Meanwhile, this middle area is still anyone's game. 14k of metal sat in that center. Ridiculous amount. Zlo didn't actually build any torpedo defense there at all. Happy to cede control of that sea, it seems. And this stiletto... Oh, I have no idea how to pronounce that. No. Let me know how you pronounce this word in the comments, because I have no clue. Symphony? No idea. All these torpedo defenses will basically shut down energy production in the pond, at least. They do have one over here they could use, but not currently going for that, it seems. There are a lack of Tech 2 units on the front here for Green Team compared to their opponents. This is a lot of Tigers that they're dealing with. And their bull count is running pretty low here. Still no Tech 2 Legion from Mirrored, pushing out mostly Resbots now, as well as Goblins. But we don't really see any game-winning play from either team right now. Oh, interesting. We see a tremor being dropped by Kuchy on the high ground. That's a funny thing to do there. There's a lot of replaying. Basically, whoever gets this replaying wins the fight. Ticks have managed to make it to the Resbots though, and do take out a good chunk of them. Still, yet it's anyone's fight in the center here. Basically, both teams are just throwing their units at each other as soon as they spawn. Tech 2 gunships make it to the front, but C3 does not have enough fighters to defend them. Oh, but now the Tech 2 fighters have made their appearance. This may be a difference here. Tac nuke goes off. Looks like it's probably going to miss its target. It does get one starlight, but would you say that's worth the value? Probably not. And there goes the Cat nuke. Reclaim field is quite heavily going to Team C3BO right now. Artillery that's been built here is slowly whittling down the defenses on that side, and that tremor did get destroyed as well. And it seems that Team Zlo and Kuchy pull the GG there. Realizing that they've lost the center and lost control of air, these gunships would eventually spiral out of control. And well, there you go. Well done, Team APM. It seems the decision to stay at the Legion character on Tech 1 the entire time, just pumping out Resbots and Goblins, seem to work in their favor. And that's just to show the power of teamwork, really. It's to see how far ahead C3BO was on metal used there. And metal produced very, very far ahead. But anyway, thank you all for watching. I hope you all enjoyed this one. Don't forget to hit subscribe, and I'll see you all next time.